Welcome to From the Executive Director's Desk at Back Bay Mission. I am James, and I am here with Billy
Yes, sir.
Savage, and very excited to be here with him. He's been a volunteer here for 3 weeks, two
Yes,
to
sir.
3 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to say a little bit about how you ended up volunteering here, Billy?
Oh, yeah. So I work for Lowe's currently.
I buy a lot of my plants at Lowe's for my
Back in
obsessive
October of
gardening.
last year, I ended up injuring my back. Fast forward a couple months, I ended up getting surgery in February, and so my doctor has decided that he would release me under provisions of very light duty. And with Lowe's having a great working relationship with Back Bay, it was decided that I would come here and I would transition back to work through the means of Back Bay Mission. So I could still get my salary from Lowe's, but I would be able to volunteer here to help you guys out, which I'm very fortunate to be able to do so, as well as I'm able to try to transition back into work.
And
so
heal, right?
yeah, it's kind of a best of both worlds right now for
Yeah.
me. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, and really blessing for us too, because that you've been kind of at the front desk in the admin building, kind of receiving people, kind of guiding people, answering the phone, and we really appreciate that. How much longer do you think you'll be here?
They're saying it could be, a 2 to 3, maybe 4 month stint. I do have a doctor's meeting to follow up on July 5th. So I might know more then, but as it stands, I'm going to be here for a little while.
Yeah, well, we really, really appreciate it. So you grew up in Pittsburgh
Yes, sir.
and spent a little bit of time down here. So what drew you to Mississippi?
Well, I came to Mississippi. My sister lives here. She's a detective for Jackson County Sheriff's Department.
Oh.
So I've got some roots here. When I was a young kid, I went to high school in Bankley for a cup of coffee, and so I enjoy going to school there.
Yeah.
But my hometown is Pittsburgh. I tell everybody, even though I live here and I've been here for 20 years, Pittsburgh is my hometown. I'm a Dower Steelers fan.
Yeah.
Steelers fan.
I see that on
Pirates
the cars.
fan. I'm
Yeah.
a Penguins fan. City of Champions. But I've been here since 2001, at late 2001, early 2002. My mom, she lives in St. Martin now, but lived in Bankley for 30-something years. And as I said, I'd had a lot of folks, some family that live here on my mom's side. So when I left Pittsburgh, I knew that I was coming to a place where I would be able to sprout roots and blossom and flourish.
Oh, that's great. What is your background? You said you were in theft prevention, right?
Loss prevention,
Loss
yeah. I did that for almost 19 years.
Okay.
Doing that, I went to college and I wanted to be a school teacher. I got my English degree thinking that, I found out very quickly that was not going to be the case.
Huh.
It's just not a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I walked into McCrae's over here in Biloxi and was looking to get a job. And a guy came out, he's a very tall fella. He was from Greenville, Mississippi. He used to be a detective up there. And his name was Stacy Hollis. I remember him like it was yesterday. And he goes, "You looking for a job?" And I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "You ever did loss prevention?" I said, "Like secret shopper?" And he looked at me like he was going to smack me when I said that. And he was like, "No, loss prevention, like you're going to catch bad guys and talk to individuals that steal from this company." And I was like, that kind of sounds interesting. And even in 2002, when I started out doing that, it was a lot of money per hour. They offered me $11 an hour.
That is a lot for back then.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll take that. That's pretty good money. I new family. My wife was pregnant at the time, So I took advantage of it, and I never looked back until 2021 when Lowe's godfathered me, made an offer I couldn't refuse.
Oh,
And so I took that chance, and I got, dealing with loss prevention, you're always working on the back half of
yeah.
retail where, you're dealing with shrink and just the underbelly of retail, if you will. I really, probably the 5 years going into Lowe's, prior to Lowe's, I really started to want to branch out and learn and add some more stuff to my resume and learn and gain some more knowledge. And I wanted to try operations, and I did so. I got in the operations side of retail through Lowe's.
Were you at loss prevention first?
I was in loss prevention
Lowe's?
first, but
Okay.
not with Lowe's. I literally left
Oh.
loss prevention as a career field
To
and
become
went literally onto it as an assistant store manager.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wow. So what do you find gratifying about being here at Back Bay Mission?
I'll be honest with you. I think it's the guests in the community that we serve, and just seeing their faces or hearing their voices for the most part when I'm talking, just hearing the gratitude or seeing the gratitude in their face when they see that we're helping them, or if we're putting them down a path to help them. I feel like to me, that is probably the best part of what I've seen so far with Back Bay, outside of just everybody that works here, just the family-oriented atmosphere and just the camaraderie. I mean, I came here 3 weeks ago nervous and scared because I didn't want to make a mistake, and everybody looked at me like, oh, he's family. Like, you guys just included me in every conversation. And that to me is probably a very good quality for a company to have, because money is money, but an atmosphere and being a part of a team, but that team is making you feel like you're a part of that team, and going home and feeling fulfilled for helping others, but at the same time you get a little bit of help too, because you learn a lot about different folks, and that are from, they may not be from where you're from, or may not be where you're at now. So just seeing that, and because I'm very observant and I'm a very analytical person, so I really want to understand things that are going on in the world. And so when working in a place like this, you actually get to see that, and you actually get to see joy and a sense of accomplishment that you don't necessarily see in other jobs or other organizations that you work for.
Yeah.
So I did loss prevention for 19 years, and I told you in the beginning that I always told my people, when you catch somebody, you don't shame on you, point fingers, because they have a reason. There's something going on that's making them make that decision. Or they're taking something because they need to feed their family, or they're taking something because they may need to feed a habit. But you have to humanize that situation. You can say, I'm disappointed in you, because that could go deep into a heart where somebody can really kind of learn from that.
Yeah.
And so I always taught my people, if you humanize a situation and you humanize the person that you're engaging, they go home saying, I feel better I don't feel good what I did, but I feel better that, I can learn from this and grow from this. Because everybody has to learn. Everybody's a book. It's just, are we willing to crack open that spine and read it? Or are we just going to judge it without even looking at it?
Yeah, that's a really good point, because that's really what we try to do here at Back Bay, is we treat everybody equal if they're housed, unhoused, living in poverty, right? Is to to see them as us and we are them, so we're in this together. And I think that's an interesting perspective, because I think especially working in something like loss prevention, you could become really jaded. And you could look at people and think, man, people just aren't, but you have a really different spin, right? You look at what's going on in this person's life that leads
Yep.
them to this place. And that's kind of the way we really need to look at people in general, in my feeling, right? And even working with especially the populations we work with, they have a story. And like you said, break the book open, give them a chance to share their story.
Yeah.
Kind of when I'm out in the parking lot here, I always try to hear people's story. How was your day? What's going on? And for me, if I don't stay in touch with that, I'm no good as an executive director. I need to really stay in touch.
I totally agree. I think that a lot of times we have to listen and, provide suggestions.
Yeah.
And that's what we do if you think about it. We provide avenues and paths to put people on so that they can flourish as well.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think you're absolutely right. If you listen, everybody has a story. If you
Yep.
listen,
Yep.
talk to them, get to know them.
Yeah.
I see it every day. These folks come in here and they're high-fiving the staff. That's crazy. That's like remarkably crazy in
Yeah.
a good way.
Yeah.
So that was something. When they told me I was coming here, I was excited because I already knew about you guys because I worked at Lowe's and I got to experience some of the things that you guys have done in the community in the past. So it was like, okay, cool, I get to go there. Did I know what I was going to do? No, but either way, it didn't matter to me. I was nervous, but I was excited at the same time.
Well, it's been really helpful because that feels like it's always kind of a weak spot, somebody up at the front, right? Because things can get busy, things can get crazy, and people are going all different directions. But to have somebody up there to kind of answer the phone, to be present, is really, really critical. And you've kind of gotten to know my friend Yvonne up there too. Her and I had been friends for many years. She was actually a member of my congregation in Phoenix.
Yes, sir.
And so, moved down here because she fell in love with it down here. Came down here a couple times to visit and was like, I'm taking early retirement and moving to the coast. So it's a very unique place.
It is.
And I appreciate you, because you've been here a long time, but continuing to welcome people to the coast. And hopefully we maintain that ongoing kind of friendliness and
Yes, sir.
hospitality that we have, right? Because that's such a part of who Mississippians are and how they are. So how many kids do you have?
5.
5?
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness, how old are they? I didn't realize you had 5
I have a
kids.
30-year-old son,
Yeah. So you just don't look that old.
26-year-old daughter, 24-year-old daughter, 19-year-old daughter, and a 17-year-old. My 17-year-old is the last in high school. She's #1 in the state in girls wrestling.
Really?
Yep. And my 19-year-old, she's due for my 3rd grandchild next month in July.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I'm busy.
Wow.
I'm busy.
Wow.
I write music and I write poetry. I'm a huge comic book nerd and a horror movie buff.
Really?
Yes, sir.
What type of horror movies? What's your favorites?
I'm more of a slasher guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not more of that. I don't like paranormal stuff. I'll watch it,
Yeah.
but I'm not big, But as far as slasher stuff, yeah, I like slasher. I'm a huge music buff. Any genre, I like music too. So.
Well, I love anything sci-fi.
Do you?
So yeah.
I like sci-fi too.
Paranormal. Yeah.
I'm not a I'm not a paranormal guy, but sci-fi, yeah. The Thing was a good movie. The
Yeah.
original and the remake
Yeah.
with Kurt Russell.
Yeah. And I like anything that's politics too. I love like Madam Secretary and
What is it?
Madam Secretary.
Oh, awesome show.
I like those kind of shows too because I find that political intrigue and also kind of makes you wonder about politics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Big time, because you think there's some truth behind all this. So
Well, if you want to be honest, most movies and TV
Yeah.
shows are based on some truth.
that's right.
You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yep. Yeah. And so that and then I love anything to do with like the civil rights movement, and
Huge
coming out with
historian
great
guy.
movies. Yeah.
Anything. I actually wrote a a paper on Martin Luther King.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
How long ago?
2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you bring it in?
I just wanted to write it.
Can you bring it in?
Yeah,
So I
I
can
will.
read it?
I'll look for it and bring it in. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I sure will.
So this is my commemorative life.
That
right?
is
Martin Luther
awesome.
King. I know I've had this forever. Miss Charlotte Tock gave this to me in Milwaukee when I was living there, because I actually did the. We had a beating of a black man by 4 off-duty white police officers when I was there, and I was the director of the LGBT Community Center at the time, the director of the Jewish Community Center, and Senator Lena Taylor and Gwen, who was one of the congresswomen. The 4 of us spoke after we marched to support, this off-duty black police officer beaten by off-duty white police officers, and we marched down the streets of Milwaukee. It was mostly black folk with a few Latinx folks in there, and I got up there to speak, and I was kind of the only white speaker, right? And
Yeah.
they were booing me off the stage on the steps of the Justice Center, and they were saying defamatory things because I knew, they knew I was the director of the LGBT Community Center, right? And this also had been a part of the challenge because one of the black aldermen said they were straight sick up F's, right? And so that derogatory word for gay people was brought into the room also through all of this. And so there was all this slash and burn and stuff, right, of people name calling. I got up there to kind of, right after the woman who's the director of the Jewish Community Center, to kind of speak before Lena Taylor did, as somebody in a marginalized community, and to talk about what it's like to be marginalized. And anyway, Lena Taylor then comes up and says, you need to listen to this guy. He's also a preacher, and kind of the community then, okay, with preachers, a little more respect. But she gave me that, literally. She came to the community center the next day and she said, you were brave to get up there and do that? And I didn't think I was brave. I'm just doing what I feel called to do, right? She said, I'm giving this to you. It's something I've been saving forever for the right person.
That's awesome.
And so it's just been really special. Right?
That's awesome. Now, are you an Elvis Presley fan by any chance?
My sister more than me. I go to
I'm a huge.
I go to Memphis every 3 years with my
you?
sister, and
it's
our commitment to each other.
collectible dolls.
Really?
Yeah, not like pocket knives that have his face on.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, like a kid.
Yeah.
I was born in '72, so I was still alive when he was alive. Of course, he died when I was 5 years later. But
Right.
My mom started collecting all this stuff as a kid, and now I have it. And he's got some roots here in Biloxi and Ocean Springs.
Sure does. I've been to the bar where he visited quite often.
Yeah.
It's that underneath Grandma's.
Yep.
Pictures of him all over. Yeah, my sister was enamored with him. In fact, we go through that about every 3 years, and she bawls her way through, she cries her way through, because she's still in love with Elvis, And she's 5 years older than I am, so she grew up very much listening to Elvis.
That's awesome.
I
I like blues music, and so Elvis Presley is huge influence from blues.
Right.
But I play slide guitar, so
yeah.
I like I said, I enjoy music, hip hop. I like R&B, blues, rock. It don't matter.
Music unites people. It really does.
You're absolutely right.
It really does. We find unity in music. I think it's the rhythm of life, right? I think the way we use music, to me, it's rhythm. It's heartbeat.
It's rhythm,
kind of our
and
pulsing
then
blood,
I am
right,
also I'm privy to lyrics.
Yeah.
I'm privy to lyrics. I'm an analytical person, so when I listen to songs, whether it doesn't matter what genre it is, I listen to the lyrics, and then I try to pick apart the lyrics to see what relation I have to the lyrics.
Yeah.
I know it's kind of dumb, but
no,
I just do that, and then I do it with my kids too.
Yeah. Because lyrics, it's the message, right? It's the message behind. Yeah, totally. I get that. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'm sorry that we rambled and rambled.
No, it's okay,
guys, but I enjoyed it.
And this will go out on our Facebook. It'll go other places. People will share it.
Cool.
So it's just important. You're an important part of what we do here. This has really been in many ways a godsend for us. So we
Well, thank you.
appreciate you being here, Billy.
Thank you very much.
And
I,
everything you bring to this place.
I told Miss Sarah that as soon as you know, even if I get released back to work, I know it ain't going to be full duty because I just know it's not going to happen. But I want to stay volunteering here if that's cool with
Good.
you.
Oh yeah. Do you have to be on the floor a lot at Lowe's? I'm assuming?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have to walk a lot. That's probably why I won't be doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Sitting down,
Yeah.
and you know, I have to get up periodically, but sitting down,
You still have
it's-
a lot of pain?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh God, yeah. And I don't like taking the pain pills. I'm not a big opiate fan, man.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of family members die from it.
Yeah.
You got to remember, Pittsburgh, it's ate up with
Right. It is.
opioids up
Opioids.
there.
Yep.
So I try to, I don't drink.
Yeah.
If I do, it's very, very, very occasional.
Yeah.
I'm just more of I'm already goofy enough, dude.
Yeah.
I don't need to put any kind of foreign objects in my body.
Yeah,
So
I hear ya.
you know, my wife will say, I'm glad you don't drink because you'd probably be the life of whatever party we're going to be at.
Oh my gosh, that's
So,
funny.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again.
Thank you very much, sir.
We'll pray for your healing and for your continued healing. And
God bless you
thank
guys,
you, Lowe's,
man.
right?
You
Thank
guys
you,
are
Lowe's.
awesome. Thank
Good.
you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and have a great day.